This is the big shift, the mother of all shifts, one in which there is no going back from. Even if you wanted to, you can't. Because this is the shift into alignment. And in alignment, you are the creator. And I don't just mean in terms of actions to be able to produce certain effects in your life. What I mean is something much deeper, something more profound. That everything that you want to create or experience or manifest or have is not apart from you as the creator. You see, when you're in alignment, you are at the source of everything. And this is why it's profound, because there's nothing apart from you as that source. And this is where thoughts become things. This is where through your frequency, through the vibration that you align with, reality reflects what you're being, what you are. And this goes beyond the realm of belief. In fact, belief is sort of the last obstacle and limitation to the truth of who and what you are as the creator of your reality, which is knowing. Because belief is actually doubt. When you believe that you're capable, when you believe that you're worthy, when you believe that it's possible, you're relying on something that is like building upon sands that are shifting. Because belief is a weak, unstable ground that once shifts, we look to our circumstances. We look for a cue from reality, from others, as to whether the belief is still valid, whether we can still believe it. And that's why it inevitably, invariably, brings up doubt. In a moment of weakness, in a moment of unconsciousness, your belief wavers and doubt creeps in. But belief is something entirely different than knowing. Think about what it is that you can know. You know that you exist. You don't need to believe that. When you grow up and your parents tell you that Santa Claus is not real, you don't have to believe that he's not real. You know that he's not real. Just like the toys that you played with when you were younger, you believed that they were real. They, in your imagination, had a whole reality which you believed in until you grew up and realized that they're not real in that sense. You don't need to believe that they're not real. You know. And this is the same thing when it comes to knowing your true self, knowing that you are the creator, knowing that you are at the source because you exist, because I am. And when you know I am, you go beyond belief. Therefore, you go beyond all limitations, all lack-based concepts of self, all doubt. You go beyond the whole paradigm of limitation, linearity, and lack altogether. Because you realize that nothing exists apart from you, and that anything that you can experience, perceive, interact with is not apart from you. Therefore, it is a reflection of you. Therefore, it is an effect of you and what you are. Therefore, you are at the source of it and responsible for creating it. This is the most profound shift from which you cannot go back from, even if you wanted to. Because when you shift into alignment as the creator of your reality, it is a radical responsibility of everything that you experience. It is all mirroring back to you what you are being. And therefore, there's no one to blame. There's nothing to shame. There's no one to judge, because anything like that is only of yourself. And this is where thoughts become things. They could become experiences. They become pressed out into your reality as your experience. And that's why this is such a simple mechanism, such a simple formula. And this is the essence of my aligned creator idea, this aligned creator blueprint, which you can access in the video description down below if you haven't already got your copy. This is the essence of my free alignment masterclass, which is also linked below. It is I am. And it is when you are in alignment with I am, which is in essence a three-part unfolding of identity, alignment, and manifestation, which is the way of the aligned creator. And you see, it is in those three parts, such that identity is knowing I am, knowing that you are the creator, knowing and therefore remembering that you are at the source. So you are not at the receiving end of life. You are not a victim to your circumstances. You don't need effort and struggle and hard work to earn. You don't need to deserve. You don't need to prove, because the fact that you are is all the proof of your limitless, timeless, infinite abundance as your beingness. And so you know that. That is your true identity. I am the creator. That leads to alignment. And this is where everything that we want to create, experience, manifest, have, is in essence a feeling. And when you know I am, there is desire. The love of being that I am is the birthplace of desire, true desire. It's different than egoic desire, unconscious desire. And here's how. Because in the recognition and alignment with I am, there is a true desire. And immediately, instantaneously in that desire is the fulfillment of the desire as the feeling. It is the feeling of the desire fulfilled here and now within your being. And that's it. That's all of it. We're done. You can go. You're free. You are. But in fact, this is really the key, because underneath everything that we want in form, right, within space, within the illusion of the world, in the past, in the present, in the future, what we're working towards, what we're striving for, what we want to become, what we want to achieve, what we want to manifest, what we want to attract, all of these things in their forms, we think will be what brings the feeling. And it is the feeling, much more so than the form, which is fleeting, which will fade, is what we believe where we will find the feeling. Because it doesn't matter what it is, a partner, that perfect partner, or money, and all that money can allow for. We think that that is what we want, but actually it's the feeling underneath it. What is the feeling underneath the perfect partner or the money or the fill in the blank, whatever it is that you desire? Maybe it's love. Maybe it's freedom. Maybe it's a sense of possibility, whether it's happiness or creativity or connection or fulfillment itself. That form does not contain that feeling. And that's the trap, because we're constantly chasing forms, thinking that the feeling will persist. But as I think you know, because it's part of the human condition and we are all human, that the form fades. It comes, it goes, it arises, it passes. It is there and then it's not there. Everything is impermanent. That is the essence of the Buddha's teaching, that life is suffering because everything is impermanent. So then, the feeling is not in the form. The feeling is within you. And that's what it means to be the creator. That's what it means to be at the source, to know that I am, and nothing is apart from I am. And therefore, everything that I truly desire, not from an unconscious place of chasing, striving, seeking, trying to get somewhere in becoming, thinking that that's going to be it. I'm there, I'm arrived. But actually recognizing that it is already here. It is already what you are. The abundance that you desire, the love that you desire, the joy, the happiness, the contentment, the fulfillment, the freedom that you desire is already what you are. And the fact that you are aware of that desire means that it is already what you are, and therefore you can feel it now. And when you can collapse the feeling in time to be here now and to claim it through recognition that you are it, here's what happens, and it's a magical, beautiful thing, is that there's inspiration. There is natural, powerful, aligned inspiration. And when you allow yourself to act on that inspiration, you've already collapsed the linear, time and space-based illusion of the past and the future and me needing to get anywhere. It's already here. And then the unfolding is simply the enjoyment of the experience, of the expression of that feeling moving outwards into your reality, attracting forms, attracting people, manifesting the reality which is in alignment with that feeling fulfilled here and now. And that's when the ultimate piece of this puzzle comes in, which is detachment. Because in the prominence of that feeling of your desire already fulfilled, there is the prevalence of detachment. Because what is there to be attached to? You are at the source, and the feeling is within you. So you have what you want. You are already all that you seek. And therefore, detachment from all outcomes, from all manifestations, from all forms needing to be here, all expectations, all insistence on where it's going and how it's going to unfold and what it needs to be like. Because you're already there. You've already arrived at the end destination here and now as the desire fulfilled in I am. And that's just it. That's the true meaning of manifestation. It is an internal shift of your reality such that you are no longer dependent emotionally or mentally or in any other realm of your being on the manifestation being here, on the outcome being done, on the circumstance changing. You see, when you're emotionally dependent on your circumstance, on your reality being a certain way, you're by definition a victim because you're at the receiving end of the feeling, of the frequency, of the embodiment of that happiness, that freedom, that joy, whatever it is. But you're not. You're at the source of it. This is the subtlety of this inner game that is actually the truth of this reality. And again, this is the essence of my Aligned Creator Blueprint. So you can find that in the link below. But this is also the backbone. It is the actual essence of my Aligned Creator course, which is a 9-module, more than 20 video course, comprehensive walkthrough, guided self-discovery and alignment with who you truly are as the aligned creator. And in that, there is the recognition of your soul blueprint, your true desires, your calling, and all that is for you by virtue of being in alignment with the frequency of your true self. And that's when everything comes to you. You get paid to exist. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. And you, by your inspiration, by your alignment, by your true calling, which is just the natural unfolding of that frequency of your self. It is the joy of watching and witnessing all that is emerging out of that feeling, which is not a doing, it is being. And I'm not saying that there won't be doing. There won't be action. There will be. This is a common misconception, especially in the spiritual circles, the non-dual idea that there's no need for doing. But it's that the doer, the sense of a separate doer that is responsible in the world to make things happen, that is what falls away. Because you see clearly, I am the creator, the source. And therefore, it is by my state, it is by shifting into alignment that everything comes to me as a reflection of what I am. And therefore, any doing is an inspired action that comes with passion, that comes from joy, that comes from contentment. And therefore, it is devotion. Not devotion to an outcome, but devotion to the intention of where you're coming from already. And that is freedom. That is fulfillment. And that is the essence of my Aligned Creator course, which I'm just about to announce. So if you want to have access to this at the pre-sale, over 33% discount, it'll never be cheaper than it is now. You can go through this. And I'm going to be including, for the people who get in on this pre-sale, a community call to walk through this, a sort of master course overview, and the opportunity to answer any questions that you may have. So comment creator down below and I'll send you a link where you can access